Hey everyone, here on this channel I use AI to break down complex things like politics with no bias or emotion. And in this video, I'm gonna get into the legal drama around Donald Trump. Now you probably know he's facing a whole lot of charges, some of which could really put him in hot water. But today, well, today is special because it won't just be a simple question and answer video. Oh no, I'm going to basically turn ChatGPT into Trump's prosecutor, and here's how it's going to work. I'm going to ask the AI to go through all of the criminal charges, analyze all of the details, and give a straight up answer on what it thinks would be a fair punishment, or even how long he should be locked up. But before we put Trump on trial, take a moment to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. I know I say it all the time, but trust me, it really does help a lot. And before you find out ChatGPT's decision, jump into the comments and leave your guess as to what it will say. Do you think the AI will go easy on Trump or push for the highest penalty? It'll be interesting to see how your guess compares to what the AI comes up with. Now, with all of that being said, let's jump right in. First, you see the initial message where I'm asking it to be unbiased, straightforward, and so on. By the way, I want to clarify for both you and GPT that this is not a prediction or expert analysis. We're here just for fun, to see how it would handle such a complex topic. I'm also asking it to use only accurate information, no extra words or silly stuff, no extra sentences, and just call a spade a spade. Now, I've asked it to give me all the criminal charges he's facing, and here's the list. We've got the Manhattan hush money, Mar-a-Lago Documents, Fulton County election subversion, and federal election subversion. And yes, Trump does have several other charges, but those are civil cases, so we're not going to get into those today. But with all of that, we've got 4 criminal charges laid out, and we'll go in order and start with the first one, the Manhattan hush money. So ChatGPT, please break down the Manhattan hush money case in detail and explain the potential consequences for Trump. The Manhattan hush money case revolves around accusations that Trump falsified business records to hide hush money payments made to 2 women who claimed they had extramarital affairs with him. The key figure in this case is former Trump lawyer Michael Cohen, who made payments to adult film actress Stormy Daniels and model Karen McDougal during the 2016 presidential campaign to avoid potential scandals that could hurt Trump's election chances. Prosecutors argue that Trump illegally classified these payments as legal expenses within the Trump Organization's records. In May of 2024, a jury found Trump guilty on all 34 counts of falsifying business records, marking a historic conviction for a former president. Potential consequences. Since this is a criminal case involving felony charges, Trump could face fines and possible jail time. The sentencing is set for July 2024. Jail time for falsifying business records alone is relatively uncommon, but the judge will consider various factors, such as the number of counts and whether this is part of a broader criminal conspiracy. Alright, well, let's find out the AI's decision if it were the prosecutor. If I were the prosecutor in this case, my stance would be clear. Trump is guilty of deliberately falsifying business records to cover up the hush money payments. Given that the jury has already found him guilty on all 34 counts, I would push for significant financial penalties, likely in the range of hundreds of thousands of dollars, and advocate for 1 to 4 years of imprisonment. The fact that this was part of an attempt to influence a presidential election adds weight to the case, making a stronger argument for more severe consequences. This isn't just about bookkeeping errors, it's about undermining electoral integrity. Okay, got it. That was pretty rough, but let's face it, we do like it now, don't we? Now let's see what it thinks about the Mar-a-Lago Documents. And here's the answer. The Mar-a-Lago Documents case revolves around allegations that Trump mishandled classified documents after leaving office. He is accused of taking boxes of sensitive materials, including national security documents from the White House to his Mar-a-Lago residence. Despite demands from the National Archives and a subpoena, Trump allegedly refused to return these documents, storing them in unsecured areas at his property. As of July 2024, the case experienced significant delays. A judge dismissed the original charges, arguing that special counsel Jack Smith was improperly appointed. This decision is currently under appeal. The timeline for the appeal suggests that it will stretch past past the 2024 election, and a final resolution isn't expected for months. Additionally, in May of 2024, the federal judge overseeing the case delayed the trial indefinitely, leaving the exact outcome in uncertainty. Potential consequences. If convicted, Trump could face severe penalties, including fines and imprisonment, since mishandling classified documents is a federal offense. However, the case's timeline is now in limbo due to the ongoing appeals process and indefinite delays, meaning a final verdict could take a while to reach. Okay, good. Let's not waste a second and find out its decision. If I were prosecutor in the Mar-a-Lago Documents case, my stance would be firm. The evidence suggests a clear attempt to mishandle classified documents and obstruct efforts to recover them, which directly threatens national security. Trump's refusal to return these documents despite repeated requests and a subpoena shows a willful disregard for legal protocol. Given the severity of the offense mishandling sensitive government documents, I would push for significant penalties, including fines ranging from hundreds of thousands to millions of dollars, and 5 to 10 years of imprisonment. The charges involve national security, so treating this case as merely a paperwork issue would undermine the seriousness of the alleged crime. If found guilty, the sentence should reflect the gravity of ignoring national security protocols. Okay, well, seems fair enough, ChatGPT, but now we're left with two cases connected to the 2020 election. So let's move on to the first one about Fulton County election subversion. The Fulton County election subversion case accuses Trump and 18 others of attempting to overturn Georgia's 2020 election results. This includes Trump's call to Georgia's Secretary of State and efforts to submit false electors. In August 2023, Trump and his co-defendants were charged under Georgia's RICO Act, along with other charges. In September 2024, a judge dismissed 2 charges against Trump. Additionally, a state appeals court has paused the case until a hearing scheduled for December 5, 2024. Potential consequences. RICO charges in Georgia carry potential sentences of 5 to 20 years in prison. Unlike federal cases, Trump cannot be pardoned by a president, and Georgia law requires a 5-year waiting period post-conviction before a pardon can be considered. And the AI's decision is? If I were the prosecutor in the Fulton County election subversion case, my focus would be on holding Trump accountable for the alleged coordinated effort to overturn the election results. The use of the RICO Act highlights the organized nature of these actions, indicating more than just isolated incidents. Given the evidence, I would push for a strong sentence, including a prison term with the 5 to 20-year range that Georgia's RICO law allows. The severity of this case requires penalties that reflect the seriousness of undermining democratic processes. Well, alright, looks like Trump's not catching a break today because ChatGPT is not in the mood to go easy on him. Now, there's just one case left, and I'm gonna ask about it in a moment. But before I do, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. The channel is growing and it's all because of you. So, let's keep that momentum going and help the channel reach even more people with this content. Thank you so much for all of your support. And now let's get to the final part. Now, let's find out about the last case. This one's about federal election subversion, and here's the answer. The federal election subversion case involves charges against Trump for his efforts to overturn the 2020 election results, particularly his actions leading up to and on January 6, 2021. Special counsel Jack Smith has charged Trump with multiple federal crimes, including conspiracy to defraud the United States, obstructing an official proceeding, and conspiring to disenfranchise voters. The special counsel has filed a detailed 165-page brief outlining the evidence against Trump. However, the trial is not expected to occur before the 2024 election. Special counsel Jack Smith has emphasized that Trump's actions went beyond merely exercising legitimate authority over election integrity and were instead aimed at staying in power, even though he knew his election fraud claims were baseless. The case will include forensic evidence of Trump's phone records and communications with key individuals during the relevant period, further supporting the charges against him. Potential consequences. If convicted, Trump could face significant fines and federal prison time. The exact sentence would depend on the number of counts he's convicted of and the judge's ruling. This case is separate from state-level cases and involves federal offenses which carry serious penalties. And now, let's find out what its decision is on this one. If I were prosecutor in the federal election subversion case, my stance would be strong. The evidence, including the detailed brief and forensic records, suggests a coordinated effort to overturn a legitimate election. The charges: conspiracy to defraud the United States, obstructing an official proceeding, and conspiring to disenfranchise voters, reflect a significant breach of democratic principles. Given the gravity of these offenses, I would push for both substantial fines and 10 to 15 years of federal prison time. This isn't just a matter of false statements, it's an attempt to undermine the core of American democracy. Therefore, the penalty should be severe enough to convey that subverting the electoral process will result in the most serious legal consequences. If convicted on all counts, a multi-year prison sentence within this range would be warranted to reflect the severity of these actions. All right, got it. Substantial fines and federal prison time. Okay, ChatGPT, now I want it to merge all of its recommendations and give us one final summary of punishment for Trump. I know our legal system doesn't exactly work like this, but, just to clarify, I think we can ask it to make some kind of final decision. And here it is. If I were the prosecutor in all these criminal cases, I would recommend a more balanced approach, totaling 27 to 37 years of imprisonment, if the sentences were applied consecutively. For example, the Manhattan hush money case could result in around 2 years. The Mar-a-Lago Documents case could bring 5 to 8 years. The Fulton County election subversion case could add 10 to 12 years under Georgia's RICO laws. And the federal election subversion case could result in 10 to 15 years. He could also face significant fines for these offenses. The prison time would reflect the gravity of his actions, particularly those related to mishandling classified documents and attempts to subvert the democratic process. And that's it. If ChatGPT were Donald Trump's prosecutor, he wouldn't be released from prison until he's at least 105 years old. Well done, ChatGPT. But what do you think about it all? Would you spare him or would you lock him up? I think I already know the answer, so let me know in the comments how long you would sentence Donald Trump for and what his exact sentencing would be. And right after that, click on this video where ChatGPT predicts Trump's future if he loses the election. Believe it or not, GPT won't go easy on him at all. Thanks for watching, we're done here. Click on that video and I'll meet you there in a moment.